going to be reviewing the Etude House Play Color Eyes in the Cafe eyeshadow palette, or in Korean, Etude House Play Color Eyes in the Cafe. This eyeshadow palette I purchased online on eBay and it cost me $15. It came directly from Korea to my home. I really wanted to try Korean eyeshadows, but I'm not really into single eyeshadows and I really like to collect eyeshadow palettes. So I was searching online for Korean eyeshadow palettes, and Etude House is actually one of the most easily accessible online for people outside of Korea. They have several eyeshadow palettes to choose from. So I chose this one because I liked the gold shades and I wanted to really try the brown shades. But I'm actually not into neutrals, but I just really wanted to try them out, and so that is why I chose this eyeshadow palette. I tested these eyeshadows out with a primer and without a primer. I much prefer them with a primer because I just got more colour payoff and I felt like the colours were more noticeable and just more vibrant and bolder. So I definitely recommend wearing these eyeshadows with a primer. There are 10 eyeshadows in this palette to test out. I've heard both good and bad things about Korean eyeshadows, so I'm excited to see how they hold up. Now, let's begin swatching. For each of my swatches, I actually applied the eyeshadow on my eyes with a primer, so what you're seeing is the result of wearing a primer. Now, I will say with these eyeshadows that for American standard, these eyeshadows are not considered very pigmented. We consider in America an eyeshadow to be pigmented if it's pigmented even without a primer, and since you do need a primer to get much more vibrancy with these eyeshadows, they're not considered very pigmented by American standards. So a lot of Americans may not actually like these eyeshadows and they will consider them not very good eyeshadows because of the pigmentation. However, I do think this is a good beginner eyeshadow palette. It has a good range of colors. You have a pink, you have some glitters, you have an eyeshadow topper, and you have like colors that you could use as your base color, and you have browns, and you just have colors you could use for everyday wear, like for natural makeup looks or no makeup looks. So if you're into natural makeup or light makeup, this is a great eyeshadow palette for you, and I do recommend it. It's very inexpensive. You get 10 eyeshadows for $15. The palette comes with a brush, it comes with a mirror, and the packaging is quite sturdy. So this is quite a good eyeshadow palette for beginners and people who are into lighter makeup and not more advanced kind of heavy eyeshadow makeup looks. Now, I did have to swatch several times for each eyeshadow on each eye. So you do need quite a bit of product just for me to get the kind of pigmentation that I wanted, but even still, despite that, the eyeshadow showed up on my brown skin, which was quite surprising because since these are Korean eyeshadows and Koreans tend to be very light skinned, I just wasn't sure that Korean eyeshadows would show up on brown skin at all, but I'm very happy to see that they do show up on brown skin. So if you have brown skin, know that you can actually buy Korean eyeshadows and they will, still show up on your skin. I'm sure each formula varies a bit, but I think you don't really have to worry so much about them not showing up. My rating for this eyeshadow palette is a 9 out of 10. I do think it is a good palette. I reach for this palette a lot when I'm teaching my Japanese students because it's just so natural, but it also still does show up and it does look nice. So I do recommend giving this eyeshadow palette a try.